Imagine this: the sun-soaked streets of Benidorm, usually buzzing with beachgoers, cheap cocktails, and the familiar sound of British voices echoing between the bars, suddenly transform into the setting of a political spectacle no one saw coming. Not a parade. Not a party. But a warning. A wave of British expats, dressed not in holiday colours but in provocative costumes, marched through the town as if staging a theatrical message meant for the UK rather than Spain. Some carried inflatable dinghies, a direct reference to the small boats crossing the English Channel. Others waved Union Jack flags boldly stamped with slogans like "Stop the boats" and "Enough is enough." And then came the most controversial part: a group dressed in outfits resembling the uniforms of Hamas fighters, complete with green headbands and masked faces. A scene so bizarre, so deliberate, it left both locals and tourists stunned. Before we go any deeper into this story, don't forget to support the channel, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Your thoughts matter here. The most insightful comments will be featured in our next video, so make sure your voice is heard. Back to Benidorm, the unlikely epicenter of this political drama. What started as a typical fancy dress parade, a long-standing local tradition, had been hijacked and transformed into a rolling political billboard. In the middle of the crowd, a giant banner featuring a bulldog and the phrase, "Coming to a town near you," was carried like a prophetic warning. Spectators stared in disbelief as this symbolic army moved through the warm Spanish streets, protesting British immigration policies from the comfort of their Mediterranean exile. But here's where the story twists. Many of those marching weren't tourists. They were British expats, people who had left the UK to live in Spain, often permanently. And yet, they were protesting mass migration back home. A contradiction that social media users picked up instantly. On X, one viewer wrote, "They're complaining about foreigners from Spain. You couldn't make it up." Another simply called them morons, sparking a debate that quickly spiraled into ridicule and outrage across British platforms. But for the marchers, this wasn't hypocrisy, it was a cry of frustration. In interviews with GB News, several British women living in Benidorm insisted that immigration had changed Britain beyond recognition. One said she left because there are too many foreigners in the UK. Another argued that free speech no longer exists back home, claiming that British identity was being eroded. Their message was clear. Their methods, less so. Locals in Benidorm watched the parade in a mixture of confusion and amusement. To them, it was unclear whether this was a protest, a performance, or some surreal combination of both. After all, British holiday culture in the region is known for fancy dress, absurd humour, and high-energy chaos. But this? This was something different, something intentionally provocative. The images spread quickly, sparking debate among commentators. Was this political theatre a genuine warning about the future of Britain? Or was it an opportunistic stunt designed purely to provoke headlines? Even the symbolic props, dinghies, flags, mock military outfits, seemed engineered to generate maximum controversy. But the deeper question lingers: why here? Why Spain? Why would British expats, people who have themselves migrated, be the ones to stage an anti-migration protest? Some analysts suggest that this is about identity, a nostalgic longing for a Britain that no longer exists in their eyes. Others argue it's about politics. These expats feel disconnected from the country they left behind, yet still emotionally invested enough to send a dramatic message back across the channel. One thing is undeniable, though: the Benidorm march shows how divided, emotional, and volatile the immigration debate in the UK has become. It has reached the beaches of Spain. It has spilled into holiday streets thousands of miles away. And in its wake, it has revealed a paradox: a group of British migrants protesting migration. As the parade came to an end, the costumes were folded away, the banners rolled up, and the dinghies deflated. But the questions they raised remained hanging in the air. Was this just a carnival stunt gone political? Or a sign of something deeper, an identity crisis brewing far from home? What happened in Benidorm felt less like a parade and more like a message in a bottle tossed back toward Britain. But what that message truly means depends on who's reading it. Tell me, what do you think? Is this a genuine warning or an exaggerated spectacle? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you subscribe so you never miss the next story.